and they can't give you the width that you need to understand your whole expand, your whole DNA elements, where you begin, where you start, when you end, and whatnot. And Ancestor.com helps you develop a family tree. And people that have 90-some% same DNA can also connect with you, and you can see who's who, because maybe there's some people you never know. And then, especially if you've been adopted, that's another thing. If that's one way of finding out your family, your family tree, is through a DNA test. And that family tree plays good when you're trying to practice ancestor. If you're trying to elevate your ancestors, you need to know where they began, where they started, how they began and crossed. Who's related to you, who's not. That's one answer to solve some of those problems. I can't hear you, Ia. You there? Hello?
I mean, he used to joke about it all the time, but my father is a short guy. But knowing the history of Cameron and Cookie, that's where the people came. So my father, my father is 13 years old. I look like a really tall lady. My dad, And,
yeah, I can't hear you too clearly. Hello, Ia, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, yes, now you're clear. Yes.
Yeah, so did you hear what I said just a minute ago?
You was stuck, sound like you was underwater.
I was saying, I'm sorry. Yes. No, I was telling a joke about my dad, how he used to say he's from the Congo. And then, I never believed him until I did my DNA test. That's when I really got the
Well, me and you both joked about that. Right. Me and you both joked about it because my dad and your dad, they're both short men, and somehow or another, they, mine used to say he was from the Zulu, and and I used to say, Dad, you're a short man.
Yeah.
You're a very short man.
Shaka Zulu. You talk about Shaka Zulu. But anyway, so let's get back to OSETURA. The link between OSETURA and all women is, of course, the womb. The feminine principle. That's the link between OSETURA and all women, and the connection with OSETURA, and how it has the acquisition to eldership is because of where this Odu became senior. It became the 17th Odu, and it became senior because it seals all the ebos from every last single one. They have to seal.
I was put on the fraud page because of this.
Wow.
Yeah, because OSETURA, it talks about how each Odu tried to take the offerings to a room, okay? And say each 16 Odus tried to take the offering to the door of the heaven or room, but they could not enter. So the 17th OSETURA was able to bring, that was born from Ochun, was able to have the power to take the sacrifice into heaven. There was a Babalawo from Voodoo that said there was 17 Odus made it. He was saying 257. So he listed the 16 major Odus, and the 17th Odu he talked about OSETURA being 17. So when he said 256 plus 1 made 257, because Eshu is always a continuation. without Eshu, nothing can happen without Eshu.
That's right.
And I got put
you
on the
believe it
for OSETURA.
Wow. And
you
know,
see?
Of course, that's one of those guys that uphold the status quo. And they're doing the same thing that the Iromoles did back in the day when they left Oshun out of the fold. Now, today, the women are suffering from that because somebody misconstrued the idea, the message. Let me say that. The message, the initial message, which was to all the women that were not the children of Orisha Odu, the Iromole, not, okay, the female. The female, which is the wife of Oromila, okay? Now that is an argument by itself because people are going to say, no, Orisha Odu is, Oromila had a relationship not with a woman, an actual woman, but with another Iromole. I don't like myths very much, I like to deal with facts. I'm serious. I don't like men.
I put it this way. I like men, but I don't love some of their abuse.
Well, how are
you we can say that. We like men, but we don't love their abuse.
No. Nobody loves abuse. Nobody loves abuse.
Right.
And it's more about being fair. It's more about equality. It's more about balance. You do your part, I do my part, and then the world will be a better place. Not you do my part and your part, or you want me to do a majority of your part, and you do a little bit of my part. You know what I mean? No, you see, so it's a problem. It's a problem. And what I would like to ask women to do is the women are, you can ask questions, but you got to be very rational about how you ask these men. You see, I even asked another woman a question and I didn't get an answer,
Oh,
I didn't get an answer. I didn't get an answer. And that's, that comes, we're going to do a show on superiority complex.
The only reason the reason why you didn't get the answer from that person is because of different, you and her is not from the same island.
What? Because I'm not Yoruba? What? That's a Yoruba woman.
I didn't say that. I just said y'all from the same island.
I don't believe it. No, they would never. No, no. Oh, well, it's because maybe maybe they didn't know that. I have master's degrees and stuff too. What is it? Oh, what is it? Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I think that's the problem. I want to say that was the problem. I really want to say that. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but I want to say that.
When you endeavor to make a change, the change got to start within you, the person. And that's my message to every individual out there, even every woman. I can't look at a global people, people who are all spread all over the world, and try to change everybody at the same time. But you can change within yourself. You can make your own changes. Become more aware.
Right.
Okay?
Learn how to control you first.
That's right. Become more aware and ask questions, But you ask questions and you use your common sense. Because if you ask a question and it like, wait a minute, 1 + 1, and what is that, 11? How did it become 11? Okay? And not 2. You understand? So you ask these questions because then you're gonna get to the bottom of it. And if somebody tried to tell you, well, listen, 1 + 1 is because you put one stroke and one stroke, and that's how you get 11. Can't you see that's 11? And you're trying to figure out in your mind, well, how in the world does that happen? You understand? And if they can't explain it to you, then that's where the issue is. That's where the problem is. And you see, there's a lot of things. They say they're secret, but it's not that they're secret. They're unexplainable, or they've been written in stone. And even though they don't make any sense whatsoever, people just go along and follow it. You know, you can't see the beginning and the end of it. And so because you can't see the beginning and the end of it, you don't even know where you are. Where am I on the ladder? Am I at the first step, or am I at the last on the top? What is the last the first, or is the first the last? You understand? You see? Okay. So people really need to, especially the women, don't be very complacent when it comes to the spirituality, And sometimes even you have to stand up for your rights and demand. And
Odu says that. Ifa Odu says, stand up for your rights
as a woman, and you have to demand respect. This Odu brought respect because the male Iramale had to go back and apologize. And guess what? All the stuff that's been going on with us on Facebook, we forever been asking for apologies. We ain't getting no apologies. No apology. Nobody's
No, they just get stupider. It just gets stupider.
Yeah. Oh wow. Nobody willing to say sorry. Nobody willing to say, listen, we're sorry. We didn't mean to disrespect you, and all of this type of stuff. And
just remove the negative stuff that they put up against women. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
because
remove it.
I want to say this because I see it's getting close to the end. Can I say this, Ian?
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Men, this is to everybody, but especially men that's listening. You have to remember, when you violate, disrespect, and degrade a woman, you are doing it to somebody's daughter. Somebody's daughter. And just like you're doing it to somebody's daughter, if you got daughters, believe me, karma is something else. So why would you want someone to do the things you do to your daughter or your son?
Yes, it's sorry, It's sorry, and it takes a really big person to apologize for something and to see where they're wrong and to say that they're wrong regardless. And, it seems that the more people are educated, the more they are, quote-unquote, called clergy or scholarly, that they cannot submit and humble themselves to other people who they feel are beneath them, or people who they feel may have been looking up to them. But trust me, they would call you the big man and the big woman if you have enough in you to say, I'm sorry, listen, I was wrong, I did this, and, this and that. Now, believe it or not, that's what they're expecting from me and Yaba, to say sorry for something sorry for what? Asking a question? For asking questions? For demanding that when people people give us the answers and not treat us as we're fools, and for disrespecting us, and we say, listen, you disrespected me. You see? So these
and I'm glad
are
you
the
had
things
this.
that as women, we're standing up for these things, and we will continue to stand up for these things, for these values, these principles, and these morals. And no men in Ifa should be trying to fight us.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They should be trying to join us.
Yeah, on the grounds of OSETURA.